Hello everyone. I just watched a video by Teal Scott about divine masculine and divine feminine, and I almost failed. Might need to find a better mount. Oh well. And it made me think about how segregated our society still is, and the segregation I experienced between men and women while I was Muslim, and various other activities I had throughout my life. And really, it's an ongoing theme that we live in an oddly segregated society. There's a lot of situations where men are told to stick with the men and women are told to stick with the women. And I think we create societies where we perpetuate this idea that we can't be trusted around one another, which perpetuates a feeling of there's a lot of fear that exists in our society. And I think a lot about, like, when I go to a Target or something like that, and I think there's a men's section and there's a women's section, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but why can't there just be clothes in a store and people can tell whether or not they want to wear certain clothes? I mean, or for instance, there's not really any need for a men's bathroom or a women's bathroom. And in fact, I'm pretty sure we'll have cleaner bathrooms if men and women share the bathrooms, and we'll have better societies, simply because women will not probably do some of the disgusting things that they do in the bathroom because they know they only share it with women. They probably won't go in there in crowds either. And men won't do, like, they'll remember to put the toilet seat down. That automatically, sharing public restrooms would probably civilize us just like a few more steps up as a species. But the fact that we separate, and then men and women have their own kind of nastiness about them, but when they are put together, somehow they minimize their nastiness. I know it's kind of a messed up way of saying it, but I think being a guy who goes in the guys' bathrooms and sees that guys just really don't know how to aim, and I've also been a janitor that I've had to clean up in women's bathrooms, and women are pretty gross too, so I wouldn't mind. I use that because it shows how we do help one another. Like the men and women coming together encourage one another to be at our best. For whatever reason, I don't really know why that is. Sometimes at our worst too. I mean, we can get caught up in one another, but this is going to be a short, or this is going to be a very long video. I don't have a lot to say on it, other than I feel more and more as my consciousness raises, I don't like living in a segregated society. I don't like thinking of women as so different. And I can go on and on about how I felt as a Muslim, because they literally would put up a partition between men and women, and that made me feel very it just made me feel like a child. It made me feel like what are we going to pounce each other as soon as we see each other? We're just going to totally make out. And of course, and places like Saudi Arabia, that kind of stuff actually happens, because you create such a charge between men and women of you're not allowed to spend time with each other, that's their primal nature, their rebellious nature will just go towards that. But if men and women are immersed around one another, it's just a matter of time until our higher nature takes over, and we're able to just, be around each other without it being a big deal. And I think my favorite vision of the future is Starship Troopers, where men and women are serving in the military together. When they take showers, they take co-ed showers. There's all kinds of stuff in that. They're very subtle, but it just shows a very equal society. That there's no reason for us to be separated from one another all the time. And of course, right now I live with women, and I can't think of any reason. There's just not enough difference for it to really matter. So I don't have a whole lot to say on all that. I think I'm just expressing the raw emotion of it, and